on that topic, if you can explain basically the difference between fake and real proper functioning Orgonite, or the difference, like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I could start with the fake one. So basically, every fake Orgonite pyramid you're going to see out there, there's always like a common theme. It's always built with improper angles. And the biggest thing you're going to see that is, easily to like identify, even if you're just getting into this, if you see a pyramid that's like all clear resin and there's not much material inside of the pyramid itself, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's not going to be functioning properly. And then there's more aspects to it, like the specific ingredients used, the angles of the pyramid itself, how you're building the pyramid, how you're processing everything, the types of materials used. Because another thing is a lot of fake Orgonite out there is made with polyester resin, which is basically plastic. And this can have some benefits because polyester resin squeezes harder on a crystal than other resins, but at the end of the day, it's still plastic and it does spread microplastics like everywhere, and it's super dangerous to work with. So that's another thing. And so you might be bringing extra toxins in your home from a fake pyramid, and a fake pyramid is also going to emanate what's called DOR, which is deadly orgone energy.
Yeah.
So think of, as I explained, orgone energy. If you want to break down orgone energy that's everywhere and everything, there's two components. There's basically, in the simplest form, like two components. So yin and yang. There's positive orgone energy and negative orgone energy, which are identical to yin and yang. That's what yin and yang is. There's just many different names for it throughout history. And so a true pyramid is a balance of yin and yang. It's not just positive orgone energy and it's not just deadly orgone energy. It's a perfect balance of both, which creates harmony. And that's basically like yin yang. Those opposing forces are what keep this reality in balance. And when those things are unbalanced, in Chinese medicine at least, problems happen. Whether that's internally, whether our own yin and yang are imbalanced, or whether it be something around us. So a pyramid, in my opinion, definitely emanates dor when it's not built correctly. So it's emanating too much like yang, if you will, and it's basically not functioning properly. And so deadly orgone energy is basically like radiation, for example. And if you want to get fancy in like pyramid terms and like energy terms, deadly orgone energy is also called negative vertical green. And so that's like a carrier wave of light. And I believe there's 8 or 12 total. And again, all of those have to be balanced. So there's really so much that goes into it. And if someone doesn't really understand the like the general components of this stuff, I probably wouldn't recommend they go like build a bunch of pyramids. Like at the very least, understand the angles and the materials used. But it gets much more than that. And so generally, every pocket of clear resin you have in a pyramid is going to generate deadly orgone energy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I try to not look at it as like, oh, this is so good or this is so bad. I try to stay neutral on it. But generally, it's going to emit deadly orgone energy because you need the pyramid to have a full surface area of materials. So when you look at all these modern fake pyramids, which are sold, I've done the math, there's probably about 10 to 15,000 of them sold worldwide every month, every year. So there's a huge amount of them out there. And, that's also provides us an audience to like push the real information onto. But yeah, there's so many of those sold out there every month. And if you look at the Great Pyramids, that's what I want to study. That's where I want to base everything off of, and a lot of these modern fake Orgonite pyramids out there, they don't really follow anything in relation to the Great Pyramids. The main difference is that the Great Pyramids are full of material. They have a full surface area. So when you look at the stones in the Great Pyramids, you don't see any clear pockets, do you? No, you see it's fully
No.
dense and as heavy as possible, built with the smallest powdered materials possible. And so same thing with this, it's fully dense in materials. And then we have the conductive space up here, which I'll get into. There's a reason this is clear resin. It doesn't have to be. And there's plenty of wrong ways to build the top part too, because that's the part with clear resin, and I can get into that. But generally, you want to look out for pyramids that, this isn't a one that's built wrong, but generally a pyramid that's built wrong is going to have all clear resin and very minimal materials inside. And so that's like the biggest red flag. And most pyramids you see at like a crystal shop or online are all like that.